Imagine this. You're sitting across from someone you've loved for decades, a parent, a partner, a childhood friend. They recount a shared memory, the night you stayed up until dawn, talking under a meteor shower, the way their eyes glistened. When they confess their biggest fear, the exact words you swore changed your life forever. But there's a problem. You don't remember it that way. In your mind, the meteor shower was a thunderstorm. Their confession was yours, the life-changing. Words never spoken. Now ask yourself which version is real, and more crucially, why does it matter? The memory paradox. Here's the unsettling truth no one wants to admit. Your most cherished memories are not recordings. They're negotiations. Every time you recall a moment, your first kiss, your greatest triumph, your deepest shame, you're not replaying a file. You're reconstructing it, editing, revising. Your brain, that cunning storyteller, smooths over contradictions, patches plot holes, and inserts emotional cues to keep the narrative coherent. The implications are existential. That core identity you've built, a collage of approximations. Those grudges you've nurtured, possibly fictional, the trauma that shaped you, a live edited documentary. Your past isn't fixed, it's alive, and it's rewriting itself daily. A litmus test for reality. Try this. Visualize your childhood bedroom. See the wallpaper, the toys, the window's view. Now ask, are you seeing the room or assembling it from fragments? Did the blue curtains exist, or did you adopt that detail from a family photo? Is that laughter in the memory yours, or borrowed? From a home video you watched years later, neurologists confirm every act of remembering physically alters the memory. Retrieve it 10 times and you'll have 11 different versions. This isn't forgetfulness. This is identity fraud at a cellular level. The Nietzschean abyss. Friedrich Nietzsche warned, when you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Apply this to memory. The harder you stare at a recollection, the more it stares back and changes under your scrutiny. Case in point. Studies show witnesses who rehearse testimonies grow less accurate, not more. Victims of trauma often remember new visceral details decades later. People vividly recall entire events they never experienced, a phenomenon called false memory implantation. Your mind isn't a historian, it's a mythmaker. The grand deception, consider this paradox, the three memories you cling to most fiercely are the least trustworthy. Why? Emotionally charged moments, first loves, betrayals, epiphanies, get special treatment. Your brain bathes them in neurotransmitters, etching them deeper, but this process distorts them like a microscope, melting its specimen. The result? A breakup grows more cinematic each year. Did they actually slam the door? A parent's criticism morphs into a defining prophecy. Or was it an offhand remark? A career triumph becomes legend. But where's the line between fact and fanfare? You're not remembering life. You're curating a museum of the self, with all the revisionism that entails. This isn't about occasional forgetfulness. This is about the foundation of human consciousness. How many of your core beliefs are built on fiction? What if the person you think you are is a character in a story you've been editing for decades? Could you handle discovering your worst day never happened, or that your best was half invented? The terror here isn't that memories fade, it's that they lie, prolifically, artfully, necessarily. The Mandela effect, a collective confession. Even societies aren't immune. Millions swear. Nelson Mandela died in 1980s prison. He didn't. Thousands vividly recall a 1990s Sinbad genie movie. It never existed. We collectively remember the Berenstain Bears as Berenstein, an impossibility. If entire cultures can hallucinate shared pasts, what does that say about your solitary recollections? You've likely dismissed this until now. My memories feel real. That's enough. But here's what your gut knows. If you can't trust your past, you can't trust your present self, your convictions, your grudges, your very essence. This isn't philosophical navel-gazing. This is psychological disarmament, stripping you of the stories you've used as weapons, shields, and oxygen. So ask yourself, what remains of you when the memories dissolve? The answer will rewrite everything. The memory factory, how your brain forges the past. Your brain is not a historian. It is a propagandist. Every memory you possess, every cherished moment, every haunting regret is not a preserved artifact, but an ongoing construction project. And the foreman of this project? A neural bureaucracy with one priority, keeping your story coherent at all costs. But why? Because your mind cannot tolerate chaos. It would rather fabricate a past that makes sense than preserve one that doesn't. The neurological betrayal. When an event happens, your brain doesn't record it like a video file. It samples it, grabbing key details, emotions, and sensory fragments, then discarding the rest. Later, when you remember, it doesn't retrieve a perfect copy. It rebuilds the moment from whatever scraps remain, filling gaps with educated guesses, cultural conditioning, and outright fiction. This process, called reconsolidation, means every time you recall a memory, you rewrite it slightly. The more emotional the memory, the more distorted it becomes. Entire scenes can be implanted. Studies show false memories can be manufactured in up to 50% of people with simple suggestion. Your past is not a fixed record. It is a live performance, and you are both actor and audience. The Jungian shadow of memory. Carl Jung warned that the unconscious mind edits reality to fit our self-concept. This is why narcissists remember themselves as heroes. Victims remember slights as grand betrayals. The traumatized remember danger as omnipresent. Your memories don't reflect what happened. They reflect who you believe you are. This explains why. 2. Siblings recall the same childhood completely differently. Ex-lovers describe the same relationship in opposite terms. Nations rewrite history to fit modern identities. Memory is not truth. It is myth-making in real time. The Nietzschean nightmare. There are no facts, only interpretations. Nietzsche's famous dictum, "There are no facts, only interpretations," applies brutally to memory. Consider a breakup remembered as liberating. One year is recalled as devastating the next. A career failure reframed as a blessing after later success. A deceased parent idealized or demonized depending on your current emotional needs. Your past is not an anchor. It is a kaleidoscope, shifting with every turn of your present self. The Schopenhauerian prison. Memory as self-imposed. Torture author Schopenhauer saw memory as humanity's cruelest trick, a mechanism that binds us to suffering. Why? Because painful memories intensify over time as the brain replays and embellishes them. Happy memories fade, reduced to hollow shells of their original joy. Regrets calcify into identity. I am someone who failed, who was wronged, who lost. You are not haunted by your past. You are haunted by your brain's retelling of it. The Huxleyan distraction, how society hijacks your past. Aldous Huxley predicted a world where people love their oppression. Modern memory science reveals how social media reshapes your autobiographical memory, making you recall life as a highlight reel. Political narratives redefine collective memory. Events are remembered not as they were, but as they're useful to power. Advertising implants false nostalgia. Do you really remember that cereal or just its commercials? Your memories are not just yours. They are battlefields for cultural control. The Sartrean horror. You are the stories you tell yourself. Jean Paul. Sartre argued that existence precedes essence. You become what you do. But memory adds a dark twist. You become what you remember doing, whether it happened or not. This is why people who falsely remember being heroic act more bravely in the future. Those convinced they were always unhappy make choices to fulfill that prophecy. Societies that mythologize victimhood or greatness recreate those narratives in reality. You don't just remember your life, you invent it, and then you live accordingly. The Frankl escape hatch, meaning over memory. Viktor Frankl, surviving Auschwitz, discovered a terrifying truth. Those who fixated on accurate memories often broke. Those who focused on meaning survived. This is the loophole. If memory is unreliable, then identity cannot depend on it. You must define yourself not by what you recall, but by what you choose to value. But how? That answer doesn't live in the past. The memory apocalypse. You didn't notice, you walk through life believing your past is solid ground beneath your feet. But what if it's quicksand? Every decision you make, every relationship, every career move, every ounce of self-worth is built upon a foundation of potentially false memories. The implications are catastrophic. The justice system's fatal flaw eyewitness testimony convicts thousands annually. Yet studies show 75% of wrongful convictions involve mistaken eyewitness identification. Memories of traumatic events become less accurate with each retelling. Simple word changes, smashed versus hit, can implant entirely false details. Your brain doesn't record crimes, it scripts them. And innocent people rot in prison because of it. The relationship paradox, that fight you keep having about what really happened in 2015. You're both wrong. Couples therapy reveals partners recall shared events with less than 50% overlap. The more emotionally charged the memory, the more distorted it becomes. Happy relationships remember more good times, even if they didn't occur. Toxic ones amplify past conflicts. In retelling, your marriage isn't battling reality, it's battling two competing fictional universes. The trauma trap. The most dangerous memories are the ones you're certain are true. Research shows PTSD flashbacks change slightly. With each recall, therapy can accidentally implant false trauma details. Some recovered childhood memories are provably impossible. Victims suffer doubly, first from pain, then from a brain that won't stop editing the pain. The political memory. War nations don't have histories, they have mythologies. 60% of Americans misremember key historical facts. Political partisans recall identical events in opposite ways. Dictatorships routinely rewrite history books, but democracies do it subtly. Your political views aren't based on facts, they're based on whatever story your brain preserved. The identity crisis you didn't see coming. That defining moment you base your personality on. It might be fiction. Studies show people can be convinced they committed crimes they didn't. Many childhood memories are actually borrowed from photos. Your earliest memory likely never happened as you recall it. You're not who you remember being. So who are you? If memories can't be trusted, what can? The answer isn't in rejecting the past, but in mastering a radical new relationship with it. Memory as a weapon, not a chain. You've spent a lifetime believing your past defines you. But what if you could hack the system? The greatest psychological revolution of your life begins with this realization. If memory is malleable, then so is identity. This isn't about denying truth. It's about choosing which truths to empower. Step 1. Become a memory editor. Instead of its victim, studies on memory reconsolidation reveal every time you recall an event, your brain enters a 5-hour window where that memory can be rewritten. Therapists now use this to soften traumatic memories by recalling them in safe environments. You can deliberately update painful memories with new insights. Try this tonight. Recall a painful memory in vivid detail. Now reimagine it with one key change, a different outcome, a new understanding. Repeat for 21 days. Your brain will begin accepting the edited version. This isn't deception, it's neuroplastic alchemy. Step 2. Build a future memory. Bank Olympic athletes and CEOs use this secret. Vividly imagine future successes as if they've already happened. The brain stores these visions as memories. When the real moment comes, you perform better. Your brain thinks you've done it before. Your rebellion starts now. Write 3 memories from your future self, e.g., the day I finally published my book. Describe them in sensory detail, smells, textures, emotions. Review them weekly. Within months, your brain will work to make reality match the memory. Step 3. The Mandela Effect Workaround. Since collective memories are unreliable, exploit this. When stuck in the past, ask, what if I remember this wrong? For grudges, could their offense be smaller than I recall? For regrets, might there be hidden benefits I've forgotten? This simple question disrupts memory's tyranny. What's the most useful way to remember this? Step 4. Become an archaeologist of your own mind. Most people treat memories as sacred texts. You'll treat yours as artifacts to examine. When recalling key life events, ask, what details feel fuzzy? Those are likely fabricated. What emotions dominate? Your brain prioritized those. Could outside evidence contradict this? Photos, journals, others' accounts. Keep a memory distortion journal where you record memories in real time. Compare later recollections. Note where and why they change. Within months, you'll spot your brain's editing patterns and gain power over them. Step 5. Weaponize nostalgia before it weapons you. Nostalgia is memory's most potent drug, but you can flip the script. When longing for better times, ask, was I truly happier, or is this a highlight reel? What hardships have I edited out? Could I recreate the feeling without the past? Create anti-nostalgia lists, accurate records of past struggles to balance the rosy distortions. Practice future nostalgia. Imagine your current life as a memory. What would you miss? Do more of that now. The ultimate liberation. Most people live as prisoners of their past. You now hold the keys to soften traumatic memories on purpose. Pre-program future successes as memories. Detect and disrupt harmful recollection patterns. Turn nostalgia from a trap into a compass. Your memories will never be perfect recordings, but they can become powerful tools. The final question isn't what really happened. It's what story serves the person I'm becoming. The memory illusion that sets you free. Here's the secret your brain has been protecting you from. You don't have a past. You have an ongoing negotiation with chaos. Every memory is not a relic to uncover, but a living hypothesis about who you are. And this changes everything. The quantum nature of memory, cutting-edge neuroscience reveals memories don't exist in any one place. They're reconstructed from disparate neural patterns each time. The hippocampus, your brain's memory center, works more like a predictive AI than a filing cabinet. What you recall is less about what happened and more about what might be useful now. This means your childhood isn't behind you. It's being remade with each recollection, that traumatic event. Its neural signature changes every time you remember it. Your identity is just the most frequently told story about yourself. You're not a historian piecing together facts. You're a prophet, constantly rewriting history to serve tomorrow. The Nietzschean breakthrough. Nietzsche was right. There are no facts, only interpretations. But he missed the corollary. There are no memories, only ongoing acts of creation. When you truly grasp this, grudges become optional. If the offense keeps changing, why cling to it? Trauma becomes malleable. Edit the narrative and you edit the pain. The future opens up. You're not bound by what was. This isn't positive thinking. It's existential alchemy. The Jungian shadow of forgetting, Carl Jung's greatest insight, applies here. What you don't remember defines you more than what you do. Your brain strategically forgets compliments to preserve low self-esteem, remembers. Failures to avoid future risks distorts relationships to fit current needs. But now you can fight back. When a memory hurts, ask, what might I be exaggerating? When you can't recall something good, ask, what joy have I buried? When stuck in the past, declare, I will remember this differently tomorrow. The ultimate freedom. Most people want accurate memories. You now know better. The liberated mind treats painful memories as drafts to revise seeds the future, with preemptive nostalgia views identity as a work in progress rather than a finished product. Your past isn't your prison, it's your clay. Tonight, before sleep, pick one memory that haunts you. Reimagine it with one small change. A different word said, a new outcome. Let your dreaming brain cement the edit. Do this for 21 nights. By day 22, you'll understand the greatest truth of all. You were never meant to be faithful to your memories. You were meant to create yourself through them. The past is always changing. Why aren't you?